What's good? We back in the building. 3kingsboxing.com. It's your host 2K. Of course, I'm joined with my man, senior writer and head of public relations over at 3kingsboxing.com. My man Bo. How you doing today, brother?
Man, let me give everybody this to tell you the mind frame that I'm in. Woke up this morning feeling 25 plus 25, every bit of my fucking age.
Get your popcorn, everybody. Go
ahead. Not my Cuban age, but my actual.
Oh, well, we all know you add 10 to your actual, or what you say your actual is. We know the deal. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I woke up feeling 25 plus 25. Apparently my brain wasn't functioning right, so much so that the editor and owner of 3 King Boxing had to call me and ask me 2 questions. He said, first, are you all right? And second, what the fuck was this shit you sent me? Okay, that's the 2 questions. The first 2 questions he asked me. It's kicked off the day. So tail light goes out, get stopped on the way to work by the police.
Damn.
Get to work. Got pulled into a fucking meeting because of some serious shit that went down a fucking month ago, and motherfucker want to lie on me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The day get fucked up, get thrown into a fucking manhole, have to remind my boss again how, hey man, I can't work late on Thursdays. And 2K, in case y'all don't know, Prodigy's had my job. So I got stuck in the air in my boom because the motherfucker died while I was up in the air.
And
fucking dog chased me. On the neighbor forgot I was in the yard, let the fucking dog out. So I don't run. I'm too old to fucking run. So I didn't run. Lucky for me, by not running, the dog stopped. And then got stopped on the way home. Sat down. Day is finally over. Because we 3 kings. You know what I'm saying, baby? We persevere. So I sat down, day was over. Then I got this tweet saying showtime, and I'm like, motherfucking goddamn right. That's what the fuck I needed. Goddamn. I needed to be on this bitch right here because the day has to end on a positive note. So if you've had a fucked up day, trust me, and I can say this, Prodigy has had worse days than the one I just described. But motherfucker, if you had a fucked up day, come to right here to 3 Kings. You in the right motherfucking place. We gonna get you back in business. You damn right I'm ready to go, bro. Let's kick this shit.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. There you go. Bo with the prologue. You know what I'm saying? But this is the place to be. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and hit the disclaimer out there. Anybody who's listening, fighter, trainer, promoter, manager, anybody who is an entity in the sport, even fans, I really don't give too much fuck about y'all, who the ones that are like, let me just say, the ones that only care about certain fighters but don't care about the sport. I don't care about y'all. You know what I'm saying? But the true boxing enthusiasts that love the sport, you guys are included. Anybody has a problem with anything we say, understand it's just entertainment. We're here to entertain y'all and bring you the news and be educational all at the same time. But if you do have a problem and you happen to see me, don't hesitate to let me know. You know what I'm saying? All right. That's a good thing. That's a good thing, Bo. I don't mean no malice. I don't have no malice intent.
No, your disclaimers are stuffs of legend, motherfucker. I can see cats years from now listening to this shit like, man, did he really say that? They really spoke like that, daddy, back in your day.
Right? Hell yeah. All right, man, let's jump right into it. And I'm going to go ahead and piggyback off of what Bo said in his prologue, you know what I'm saying, his prelude to the podcast. I'm feeling good myself, man. And it's bittersweet because I be telling you motherfuckers shit and I be right. But I know ain't nobody gonna really feel it, dog. It's just how it is. Look, man, people like whack shit and I'm not a whack motherfucker. So naturally, I don't have the type of following that whack niggas have. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we specifically told y'all on the last podcast that Tyson Fury was going to freeze Deontay Wilder out. That's exactly what he did. You had cats on here talking about, Wilder got the power. All right, motherfucker, why didn't this nigga exercise his power and get this rematch done? You see what I'm saying? Tyson Fury is like, yo, ESPN. I told you guys this. ESPN pretty much owns Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
with the deal that he signed.
Yeah.
They own him for X amount of fights that he signed the deal for. Since they pay him for his services, he is what's that word? He's obligated to them, right? So,
Yes, sir.
So they own him for the time being. ESPN was like, shit, you know, we're not gonna fight Deontay Wilder right now. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get you out there, trying to basically show you off in front of the American populace so you can get your fan base up here on American soil. You the shit over there in the UK, no doubt about it, but you ain't really that much of shit here in the American soil. So that's why we got you on ESPN, so we can get you to do that shit, family. And Tyson Fury was like, damn, you're right. You're right. Man, fuck Deontay Wilder. I told y'all it was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Bo, what you think about this, man? Tyson Fury pulling out the rematch.
Well, here's the thing, too. You also said something that, if you paid attention to the last show, my man said this. His exact words was, a lot of times what happened is these guys signed contracts and they started getting this money. And once they started getting it, they started getting what? They started looking at it from a different view, getting it, and start listening to what these motherfucking entities is saying to them.
Yep.
Right. And you said that. And this is exactly what it is. Look, first of all, this is classic Bob Arams. Okay. Prolong a fight so we can make money. Has this backfired on him before? Yeah, it backfired when he was trying to do that to Gamboa and Wama. Wama wound up getting beat, but it didn't stop him from doing it. The reality is, there's ESPN understands there's more money in the rematch. Okay, if we feature our fighter or show off our investment than it is to go directly into the rematch. Now, of course, some of y'all are going to say, well, Bob said that if they want the rematch right away, we're getting rematch. Bob has to publicly say, well, if they want the rematch, we'll give him the rematch. But Bob also said, after saying that, is we prefer to have him an interim fight. That's code word for he's going to have an interim fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's code word.
The damn saying itself is code for itself.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I'm not surprised by this because I'm not surprised by this. And now I do, even if I feel some kind of way, the bottom line is his business, right? Tyson Fury finally got something he never got his whole goddamn career. Never got his whole fucking career. He finally got a major entity behind him.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
He finally got a bag of goddamn money. Big bag of fucking money. Guaranteed. He finally got that. He never got that his whole career, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Mm-hmm. Then on top of that, there's something else y'all got to understand. Now, before some of y'all say, how could he froze Deontay Wilder? I understand. It's the terminology on word, meaning that he's putting this rematch on ice to do something else.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, they know they have to see Wilder. That's the reason why they offered Wilder the contract.
Right.
Because if it was about not worrying about Wilder, they wouldn't even have offered Wilder the contract. They know they got to do that. Okay. But what they're saying is, and we told y'all, ESPN has invested a lot of money into this dude. They're not going to invest a lot of money into him for him to go into a fight that he might either get knocked out again or get a bad decision.
Exactly. It's basic business. That's common sense.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
okay.
I don't think I'm smarter than everybody in the fucking world, but sometimes I must be smarter than everybody in the fucking world. You know what I'm saying?
And like I pointed out last episode that Tyson Fury is talking differently. Now, he said the only thing Tyson Fury said that kind of pissed me off is when Deontay said something about you motherfucker, blah, blah, blah. And Tyson said to him, hey, man, you know, you need to get your profile up before I fight you. And that made me make them like, well, you didn't care about that motherfucker's profile, Tyson, when you fought him the first goddamn time.
You know what that is, Bo.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Let me tell you, I got the perfect analogy for this, bro. Yo.
He pretty much told Dante, thanks for the help.
Well, it's like, yeah, he did. It's like this, man. You like this girl, right? She wasn't nobody. You saw her as she was a diamond in the rough. You looked at her and said, yo, I could tweak a few things here and there. You know, she still, you know, she got a dirty ass shirt on. You know, she got some faded up blue jeans and some, you know, she got a couple holes in her shoes. But damn, she fine. Now look at her face. Look at her ass. Look at everything. She fine. I just gotta teach her how to dress and tweak a couple things here and there. You know, her hair look matted and shit. We gonna get her hair done up, all that. I'm gonna tweak all that. And you do it, and then the female gets comfortable with how she looks. And she starts getting all this attention. Then she's like, well, I don't really like this nigga no more. I'm getting all the attention from these cats over here. Ain't no reason for me to fuck with him. Thank you for changing me into who I am today, but I'm about to go fuck with these cats over here now. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Let me answer what Kamal is saying, man.
It was good.
Bro,
over there.
Joseph Parker does not need to have an American profile to help Tyson Fury boost his profile in America. Boxing is a sport, and you listen to us long enough to know that boxing is a sport about what have you done lately. If Tyson Fury live on ESPN beats the dust off of a former champion and looks great doing it, his profile boosts automatically. It may not boost dramatically, but it boosts. His profile is not gonna go backwards. It's not gonna stay the same because this is his first fight on ESPN. Okay. And the last fight they saw him in, they saw him beat Deontay Wilder. Actually, his profile boosted when the majority of boxing fans thought he beat Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
He's already boosted. Okay. All he has to do is come out there and beat the hell out of Joseph Parker and look good doing it. People are going to be like, see, this is why I thought he beat Deontay Wilder in the first place. I really like this guy. That's exactly what's going to happen. Now, hold on 1 second. I'm turning over to you. Now, understand, Top Rank knows this. ESPN knows this. That's why it's a multi-fight deal. You don't start off your multi-fight deal with hard killer motherfuckers. You don't do that. That's too much of a risk. But you do start off with a name that people know of. And when people don't know him, all they got to do is box rec him and fucking look him up. He's a former champion. You see what I'm saying? The second fight is going to be either the same competition or a little bit harder than that. Then you go into the deeper competition depending on how big the deal was. You see what I'm saying? So what they're doing right now is a smart business move, regardless of if you believe that or not. It is. It's perfect. And it's exactly what I said they were going to do. So it's perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. Go ahead, Bo.
Just think Canelo Alvarez and Rocky Fielding debuting on DAZN.
Boom.
That didn't boost Canelo's resume at all, period. But what it did was it set everything up to show everybody, hey, DAZN, Canelo, who is a Mexican, just filled up the Madison Square Garden that's primarily dominated by Puerto Ricans. He filled this up to the brim so much so that even Anthony Joshua saw this and said, hey, yo, I think I want to fight in the U.S.
Yep.
I think I want to fight. So, and then it leads into the next fight that they had, which is Daniel Jacobs. So it's to your point, it's all about if he totally dominates and outboxes Joseph Parker, it's showing that performance wasn't a fluke.
Exactly.
That's why that's all that is, man. And like I said, think Canelo Alvarez and Rocky Fielding.
And think about if he knocks Joseph Parker out. You telling me fans just be like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
That's not the nature of how boxing works.
Right. What you got to understand, this move is to create what? Heat on Wilder. Yeah. So anything he does will create heat on Wilder.
Exactly.
That's what this move is.
Exactly. I mean, listen, man. I see nothing wrong with it, and we're already in the next topic. Fuck it. I see nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? I said on the last podcast, from a business perspective, I understand exactly what they're doing. Now, from a fan perspective, of course, I want to see him fight Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson. You know, all the motherfucking fights you want to ever see. I want to see that, obviously. But I understand that the business is going to take precedence over all that. You know what I'm saying? So, from a business standpoint, I know exactly what ESPN is doing. It makes perfect business sense to put him in there with a couple interim fights so that they can boost his profile. It doesn't matter who he fights, honestly. To be honest with you, this motherfucker could fight someone like Christian Hammer that Luis Ortiz is getting ready to fight on ESPN. As long as he fucks him up, he's going to look good. Remember, people were shitting all over Tyson Fury when he came back and he was 487 pounds and shit, right?
Yep.
people were like, man, Tyson Fury is whack. He ain't gonna be able to do nothing. Who did Tyson Fury fight? He fought what was the dude's name? He had two first names. The cruiserweight. I can't remember his name, bro.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
He fought him and he fought Francisco Pianeta. Those are the two dudes. Those are the two dudes he fought. And then when they announced the Wilder fight, everybody was ready to see it. So you're telling me that Francisco Pianeta and then fucking cruiserweight with the two first names, they can boost his profile for a Deontay Wilder fight, but Joseph Parker can't boost his profile for a Deontay Wilder rematch? Come on, bro. You got to think before you comment, man. Go ahead, bro.
Not just that. You also have to understand something. Tyson Fury did something in a Wilder fight that he did not do when he dethroned Vladimir fucking Klitschko.
Yeah.
And everybody saw that.
Yeah.
People saw that fight, and it did not give him what it did when he fought Tyson. When he fought Vladimir Klitschko. Okay. Look, man. The bottom line is, look, fighting Joseph Parker now, he's a former world champion. He just lost to Dylan White. So for it's one of those fights where you're setting Tyson Fury up to actually look good. Why? Joseph Parker is not an aggressive fighter. He's not one of them dudes that's going to come in looking to knock Tyson Fury out right out the gate. Okay. He's not one of them guys who just going to come in and put pressure on Tyson Fury or fight on the inside. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to do that. That's not who Joseph Parker is. Okay. Joseph Parker is extremely passive aggressive. I'm trying not to say he's a safe fight, but yeah, he kind of is a safe fight to showcase your guy, because there's no way that I believe that Joseph Parker is going to beat Tyson Fury. I mean, stranger things have happened in boxing, sure. But given Joseph Parker's style, given how Joseph Parker fight, given how we just saw Fury fight and he replicates that, this is easy all day long. All he has to do is perform the same way he did against Deontay Wilder, against Joseph Parker, and people are going to be talking about, all right, yo, where you at, Deontay? Especially if after the fight, Tyson said, okay, now I'm ready for that bomb, Deontay Wilder. You need to come over to ESPN. I guarantee you, if he does that, the ESPN going to feel like, we just got our money's worth out this dude.
Yep.
See? And that's what everybody has to understand, man.
Yep. Now, Sean Newton said that Joseph Parker is as good as Jarrell Miller and Dominic Breazeale.
Dominic Breazeale, yeah, but not
Dominic
Jarrell
Breazeale, yeah. I think Jarrell Miller is better than him, but I do agree he is about on the same level as a Dominic Breazeale. And we'll get to that later. He is.
I think he's definitely on the same level with Dominic Breazeale, but Jarrell Miller, no.
Yeah, I think Jarrell Miller stops Joseph Parker if those two ever fought.
Definitely.
But it is what it is, man. We're gonna go to the next one. Bo, what you got for me, dog?
Might as well Dominic Breazeale.
Might as well jump on that shit, right?
Jump on that subject. Hey, Dominic Breazeale, he's talking about, hey, man, he might be close to fight Deontay Wilder. Now, this is bittersweet for me. Reason being is, I would have preferred Wilder maybe fight Dylan White, right? I would have preferred that. But it's bittersweet in this aspect. I don't mind him fighting Dominic Breazeale, because Dominic Breazeale pulled a beta male fucking move when Wilder and his family was top popping shit to him in front of his kids, and he wanted to sue him. I'd have been like, yo, kids, get in the car. Yo, man, tell your motherfucking brother shut the fuck out of his ass. See? Motherfucker, you are a boxer. You get, you know what I'm saying? Your job is to hurt motherfuckers with your hands. Okay? It'd be like, it'd be like, you know what, dog? I tell you what, since I can't put my hands on him, you gonna take the ass whooping that was meant for this little nigga over here. Your baby bruh, yeah, you gonna take that one that went for that little nigga over here for talking shit in front of my fucking family. So that's the only reason why I'm interested in seeing this, because it's like, I don't think Dominic Breazeale beats him. I think he'll probably put up somewhat of a fight, but it just pissed me off that that's what you did. You did that beta male shit, man. Right. And it just irked me so bad, dog.
Yep. Hold on real quick, man. I got to comment on something, man. Oh, shit. Hold on, man. See Kamal about to get a motherfucking hey man. We about to have a couple pit episodes coming up. You know what I'm saying? Kamal, I don't know if you want to go at the king, man. I'm gonna have to throw my man Blake, Corey, you know what I'm saying, Michael at you, bro. I'm gonna have to throw my dogs at you, man. I don't think you want to come at the king. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, listen, man. This is going to be a knockout deal, and that's how I said it for Dominic Breazeale. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The reason why I say it's a knockout deal is because it's going to be a deal where he gets knocked out. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a deal where he gets knocked the fuck out, dog. You know what I mean? So, listen, man. Listen. The situation is that Dominic Breazeale was supposed to fight Dillian Whyte, right? They were talking about it. Dillian Whyte was talking about moving into the PBC to be able to get that fight. Evidently, Deontay Wilder said, "Hey, bro, back your ass up, man. I got the belt. Shit, you can get you a title shot. You gonna fight to see who the real mandatory? You just want to get this title shot." Of course, Dominic Breazeale gonna be like, "Well, shit, give me the title shot." You see what I'm saying? So it's a deal of a lifetime for him. It's the second time that he gets to fight for a title, but it will also be the second time he gets knocked out. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are surprised that this fight is, or let me say, they're surprised that they're negotiating this fight. But we've been talking about them negotiating this fight since last April, man. Again, if y'all follow Three Kings, at that time, I was talking about it heavily on my channel. I was telling you guys last summer, in the midst of Hold
on, man. Stop. Time out. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. All right. Come on, dog. Because you're getting in your feelings. Check this out. You're saying there's zero guarantee that Fury will even fight Wilder. All right. What you don't seem to understand, dog, is this.
Hold on. Let me interlude this. We're gonna address some bullshit right now. Everybody stay tuned. We're going to get back to the topic at hand, but we're going to address some bullshit real quick. Come on, anytime, bro. I'll embarrass your bitch ass on air. Easily, motherfucker. Easily. I've done it plenty of times, and motherfuckers that's been on this channel have heard it. You will get your motherfucking ass embarrassed, dog. Easy work. Then I pass you along to my niggas. They will embarrass you. Fuck out of here, boy. Go ahead, Bo.
No, man.
Motherfucker right here, man. What the hell?
Check this out, man. You got to understand something, G. They did not sign Deontay Wilder, dog, with the whole, Tyson. They didn't sign Tyson Fury, dog, without knowing that, hey, we want to get this Wilder fight. The main purpose of even signing him was for the purpose of getting that rematch. That's what you have to understand. They know, listen, we got to have this rematch with Deontay Wilder. That's the whole purpose of them sending him a contract.
Yeah.
Right. So to say, like, when you think of, when I say, hey man, name the top 5 heavyweights right now, the first 2 you're gonna mention is either Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua, but the third one in that top 3 you're gonna mention Tyson Fury. These 3 dudes, Wilder, Fury, and AJ, they got to see each other at some fucking point, and that's what you're missing. And they all know that. That's the reason why Joshua with his own, Fury is with motherfucking ESPN, okay, and Wilder's sitting in the middle. Either he might go either way, or he might even get a contract from Showtime. But they all know they got to see each other, bro. That's what they know that. That's why they trying to muscle up. So, hey, either we're going to do a co-promotion, we're going to do some kind of deal, something's going to go on and give, dog. So don't think for 1 second that move was made saying, hey, you ain't got to fight that dude. No, man. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. So anyway, back to where we at. So
knockout deal. Dominic Breazeale.
Yeah, knockout deal. You know what I mean? Now, this obviously puts Dillian Whyte in a bad situation because, you know, he was at first hoping to get the Anthony Joshua fight. Then he was hoping to get the Dominic Breazeale fight on top of a deal with PBC. Now it's a situation where, you know, he's going to be looking at possibly fighting the Adam Kalnaki. He's actually looking down the ranks like, all right, who can I fight next? Because I think he's got the WBC silver title, correct?
Yes, he does.
Yeah. So he's like, well, who can I fight next? Basically, Ortiz is getting ready to fight Christian Hammer, so we can't look at him. He's fighting this weekend. Dillian White is trying to come back in April. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, who can I fight on the list that will propel me, or at least, let me say, that will put me in a position where Deontay Wilder might look at me next, right? Of course, he's still looking at AJ, but AJ might be fucking with Alexander Usyk after Jarrell Miller. If he wins, he might fight Alexander Usyk, who's getting ready to possibly fight Alexander Povetkin. So you got that situation going on. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Dillian White, honestly, bro, look, we talking about people being frozen out. Dillian White getting froze all the way the fuck out. Like, Dillian White is in an igloo in Antarctica right now, B. You know what I'm saying? That's nobody's looking at Dillian White. It's fucked up, man. You see what I'm saying? It's so I'm just like, you know, I would like to see Deontay Wilder fight somebody other than Dominic Breazeale. Dillian White would be perfect, but I understand why they picked Dominic Breazeale. The same reason why Tyson Fury would pick Joseph Parker, because it's an easier fight that will help build up the rematch later on down the line. So we'll see what happens, man. The deal is not done, obviously, but you know, the thing is, it's close to being done. And don't be surprised if it is done, because like we said, we've been telling y'all this shit was going to happen since last summer. I was right in the midst of them, you know, Wilder offering AJ 50 million and, you know, all this shit going down, and Hearn offering Wilder a contract where it's a 50-50 deal, all that shit. I was telling you cats, AJ is going to be fighting Povetkin. Deontay Wilder is probably going to be fighting Dominic Breazeale soon. And, you know, Deontay Wilder actually gave us the okie doke, brought in Tyson Fury, that nobody actually saw that shit coming.
No, nobody saw that shit coming.
Nobody saw that shit coming.
And I, honestly speaking, remember too, now, see, a lot of cats forget, that was when Deontay did that, Eddie Hearns was shaking in his boots. He was talking about something. If you lose, you're not going to get Anthony Joshua. You're going to ruin 15 million. Remember, he was.
Hell yeah.
He lost his shit. He lost his shit.
Yep. It's crazy, man. All right, man. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So if you guys were watching, Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia had the face off. You know what I'm saying? Listen, now I know some people are gonna be, listen, man, I already know where the train is at. Because when I say something about this fight, even me, motherfuckers be like, nah, nigga, nah, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? I have a pretty good reputation where guys know that I can break down fights, and I can give you a perspective where even if you're picking the other guy, you may think, well, shit, he has a good point. That other guy might have a chance in this fight. Cass ain't even trying to hear me say it.
I think I know what fight you're talking about now.
Errol Spence, Mikey Garcia.
Yeah.
The thing is, I really believe Mikey Garcia is a live dog in this fight. And in that face-off, you know, Mikey Garcia was telling Errol Spence, hey, man, this ain't going to be no easy fight for you. You know, he's basically saying this might be one of them tough-ass fights that you're going to remember for a long time. Listen, Mikey Garcia is good enough for that. I understand. Listen, man, listen. I understand we got weight classes for a reason. I understand that concept, right? But I also understand the concept of fighters being able to move up multiple weight classes and being able to have the IQ along with the physical ability to survive in higher weight classes, right? Ezzard Charles, right? Ezzard Charles, middleweight to heavyweight, right?
Yep.
You got Sugar Ray Leonard, welterweight to middleweight. I know you don't like him, but
no. You didn't say his name right. I don't think you said his name right.
Oh, Sugar. Hold on. Sugar Ray, Aaron Pryor, Duncan Leonard. There you go.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, that I know who that is.
Word up. But you know, we've had it all over the course of time. You know what I'm saying? Where guys have moved up in weight and looked good. Now, I'm just saying this. Mikey Garcia has the IQ and he has the physical abilities to contend. Of course, the big elephant in the room is Errol Spence's power, his size, and his ability to go to the body. That's the big elephant in the room. We don't know until we see the fight. But I'm just saying, on paper, you can't count Mikey Garcia out, and he's correct in what he said in his face-off. Dog, this is not going to be an easy fight. And of course, Errol Spence came back and said, you know, Errol Spence was actually saying, we don't think like that. You know, whoever our opponent is, we're not sitting here saying, fuck that guy. He can't be in the ring with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to run him over. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Errol Spence was just like, look, man, we look at everybody the same. And he's saying, you know, Mikey Garcia was like, but you were saying it was an easy fight. You know, you was just going to walk over me because of your knockout percentage or whatever. And Errol Spence was like, yeah, I'm fucking 24-0 with 21 knockouts. If I touch your ass, it might be an easy night. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about this shit, Bo? Do you think that given Mikey Garcia's disposition, or for you dumb niggas out there, his attitude and tone in the face-off, do you believe that he might have a chance just based off of that?
See, the problem with that, what you're saying, 2K, is I don't base it off of that. like I can't lower my thought process to base shit off of something so simple.
Good answer.
I just can't do it.
Good answer.
If I was to look at it, I would say Mikey Garcia showed the confidence you're supposed to show as an undefeated 4-division pound-for-pound motherfucking fighter. Champion too at that, right? He did that. But the thing of it is what people got to understand is there's a reason why Mikey Garcia targeted Spence. He didn't target Thurman. He didn't target Porter. He didn't target Danny Garcia. Hell, he didn't even look over at Terrence Crawford. He targeted Errol Spence Jr. And there's a reason why. Not only target him, but said, yo, I'll target you. I'll give you your backyard, your home you want to fight in. Okay? We can do it in your backyard. He targeted him for a reason, because Mikey Garcia believes that he has enough technical ability, he has enough athletic ability, and on top of that, he has the ring IQ to topple Errol Spence.
Right.
And that's the thing that all of y'all gotta understand right there. Like, think about this for a second, because I've heard people compare this to, they say this is like, you know, Lomachenko versus Rigo. Well, no, it isn't, because Mikey Garcia is nothing like Deontay, and Errol Spence Jr. is nothing like Lomachenko. Mikey Garcia, y'all saying he's going up 2 weight divisions, but before you say that, Mikey Garcia actually stopped and ducked his head at 140 pounds. Right. He won a belt at 140, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Now he went back down to fight Robert Easton Jr., but he at least went to 140. And by going to 140, what he did was he thought to himself, I bet I went to 140. This wasn't so bad for me.
Right.
Okay. On top of that, have you ever just seen anybody just run over Mike? Like, have y'all ever seen anybody just run over Mikey Garcia? I don't care who you are. When he fought Robert Easton Jr., he was able to turn the advantage that Easton Jr. had into, he was able to turn that advantage around into a disadvantage. Right. Same thing when he fought Adrian Broner. People talking about some Adrian Broner is way athletic. A guy like Mikey Garcia, he just needs enough athletic ability, but he's far more technical sound, and his ring IQ is higher. That's the big difference. Andre Ward never had fast hands. He never was lightning speed or tremendous power, but his IQ is what won every fight. Floyd Mayweather, as he went up in weight, his hands, his power in his hands wasn't what it was. His offense wasn't what it was. Okay. But his IQ is what won fights. So the IQ, like Mikey Garcia, IQ is high enough to where you have to, just off his IQ, got to give him a 40% chance alone. I'll even say 50% chance, simply because of the IQ. So me personally, I like this fight. And I agree with Mikey. Mikey's telling him, this is going to be your toughest fight. Why? Because you're going to be with somebody that's going to think and give you and give you something you ain't never seen before. And he's absolutely right about that. But Errol Spence also has a point when he says, well, I got 25 knockouts. I got 25 fights with 21 knockouts. So if I touch your chin, okay, you might go down. And actually, Errol Spence is right to even say that, because that's how you're supposed to be looking at shit when you're a champion.
Right.
So I'm hyped just off of that, but I can't just base, my thought process off of no video, man. I can't do that.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Now, the thing is with me is that I try to take out the whole idea of Spence is the bigger guy, because we've seen it throughout boxing history where smaller guys have beaten bigger guys, So that's not something for me. Just like you say, you don't look at a video and judge whether or not a fighter has an opportunity to win a fight off of that, right? His demeanor and his disposition. I'm the same way with looking at size. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at the technical aspect and I look at the skills, Errol Spence, and this is going to answer Chris's, it's not really a question. He's just saying basically we're forgetting about Spence's IQ.
No, I'm not.
Right. Spence's IQ is not that great, man. You know what I'm saying? Spence likes to tell you guys, hey, man, you haven't seen a lot of, what I can do. There's not much that comes behind that. You know what I'm saying? What you've already seen. I'm letting you guys know that now. There's not that much that's coming behind that. I live in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? I've seen Spence outside of, what you guys see. There's not much coming behind that. You see what I'm saying? What you see him do to guys like Lamont Peterson, Leonard Bundu, Chris Van Heerden, right? That's what he is. What he did to Kell Brook, that's what he is. That's what you're going to get. Come forward, overwhelm his opponent with body shots. That's what you're going to get. Try to impose his will over his opponent, right? The problem with problem with Errol Spence against Mikey is that Mikey Garcia takes full advantage of fighters who come forward with no head movement. He's been doing it his entire career.
He did it to Z.
He did it to Z. I forgot his fucking name.
I forget his name. Yeah, he did it to Z.
Oh yeah, Dehan's Letition, and yeah. He did it to him. Guys that come forward with no head movement. That's what he's looking at when he says, "Oh, I see something." You know what I'm saying? I knew that the first time he said it. Before they actually announced the fight, I knew what he was talking about. Oh, he comes forward with his hands are down. Errol Spence doesn't keep a high guard. He stays on the center line the entire fight. He stays on the center line, and he keeps his head right there, straight up the middle. Easy for a guy, a boxer, who boxes in the manner that Mikey Garcia does, to take advantage of that. You see what I'm saying, man? Now, with the Kell Brook fight, a lot of cats are telling me like, "Hey, man, matter of fact, my man Blake, one of my staff members on 3kingsboxing.com, he hit me up. He was like, yo, how do you figure Mikey Garcia's got a shot?" And we went back and forth. He made some good points, and he was talking about Kell Brook. That was his main thing. My thing was Errol Spence doesn't have a plan B. Well, he said, well, yeah, he does, because he adjusted in the Kell Brook fight. I said, how so? He said, well, because he started slipping the jab. You know what I'm saying? He started slipping the jab. He started timing. Whenever he would come in. I said, bro, those are small adjustments. That's not an adjustment of a game plan. That's just adding to what you're doing. His overall game plan is to come forward and pretty much out pressure his opponent, right? And pose his will. I'm the bigger guy, kind of like Jamal Charlo. They don't fight similar, but Jamal Charlo is not as a prolific a body puncher, but they're both on the center line in the same manner. They both apply effective aggression in the same manner. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I was telling him. Like, dog, those are small adjustments. Against Mikey Garcia, he cannot have his head on the center line the entire fucking fight. He just can't, man. He can't. I say he's going to have to adjust to the point where if Mikey's moving laterally as fluid as he did against Robert Easter Jr., as fluid as he did against Sergey Limpinets, right? And then that fight, he wasn't even moving that well, to be honest with you, because he had that gut. That gut wasn't letting him move. Like Bo says, it's an anchor. You know what I'm saying? My man Bo said that shit is an anchor.
So let me anchor, baby.
Yeah, let me not say him. Let me say Dehan's Letition, right? But he still moved all right against Sergey Limpinets. But my point is, if he's still able to do that at 147, that's a fucking problem, man. That's a problem, dog. And exactly, my man the Texan said it. Keeping your head on the center line is perfect for the check left hook.
But
beautiful.
You know, see, JMC, and hold on, you know what? Listen, shout out to y'all because we like this shit. Y'all bringing it, right? I personally like it. I don't give it. Y'all bringing it. All right. My man JMC said Spence haven't had to use plan B, but don't think he doesn't. Here's the problem with that. When you've never had to use something, it becomes hard to use it, and sometimes you forget how to apply it.
Yeah.
A cat like Mikey Garcia always has applied and know how to use a plan B. And when you get in there with a dude that's used to using it, have it, and has already applied it versus a cat that may have to apply for the first time, there's going to be a disparity in the skill set when you see it happening live.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So listen, man, I'm actually...
I like this. Listen, I like this fight all the way. I'm glad it happened. I just want y'all to understand it's gonna be more competitive than a lot of us believe.
I can't wait to see it.
I can't either.
No, there's a lot of people that are already talking beyond Mikey Garcia. I'm like, dog, do y'all not know who Mikey Garcia is? Of course they do, but I'm like, okay, have you actually broken down what Mikey Garcia is able to do? I understand it's 147. I understand that, but you can't just look at that and say, it's over with. You can't do that. You see what I'm saying? Not with a guy with the IQ of Mikey Garcia. You can't do that. Yeah. People thought, look, perfect example, family. People thought Terrence Crawford was going to look bad at 147. They didn't give a fuck about him fighting the Keith Thurmans, the Errol Spences, blah, blah, blah. They were saying when he moves up to 147 because he came from 135 and he had trouble with Yuriorkis Gamboa at 135. They were saying that if he goes to 147, he's going to get obliterated by B-level guys. I remember the comments. Look at him now.
I'll take it a step further. I heard Cat saying this to me about Fury, and I was like, dude, Fury ring IQ is far better than what y'all believe, dog. His ring IQ is what's going to carry him all the way to the end of the fight. And they was like, that's dogs. See, ring IQ, ladies and gentlemen, that counts. Sometimes it depending on it, depending on who you talk to, that counts for about 40 to 50% of your goddamn game plan in the fight is your ring IQ.
Exactly. I don't know, man. For me personally, bro, I need Errol Spence to show me that he has a better IQ. It's too late for that now. We're only 2 weeks away from the fight.
Yeah. So, and he might do it. Like motherfuckers do raise their game when you put him in the fire.
I mean,
he might do it.
Daniel Jacobs against Golovkin.
Exactly.
I thought Daniel Jacobs was gonna get knocked the fuck out within 5 rounds. That didn't happen, right? So you're right. There's a possibility Errol Spence can go in there can show us some different things. But I'm willing to bank on him being similar to Triple G. There aren't anything that he has, up his sleeve. He's showing you who he is because he fights the same way against everybody, right? And one more thing before we go to the next one. I want to emphasize on Errol Spence's head being on that center line, why that's so fucking, it's such a disadvantage, right? The Texan touched on it very well earlier. But I'm going to add to that and say, please go back and watch Errol Spence versus Chris Van Heerden. Now, I understand he won this fight by knockout, and he won the next fight I'm getting ready to talk about by knockout. Go watch him against Chris Van Heerden. Also, go watch him against Alejandro Barrera. Chris Van Heerden landed a jab at will, people. He was jabbing the fuck out of Errol Spence's head. Now, if Chris Van Heerden threw 100 jabs, he landed 99.5 of them. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why it was only half of one that he missed is because he pulled back on that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Alejandro Barrera was landing the hardest punch to land on your opponent at will. That is the lead uppercut from the outside, dog. If you're leading, if you come in with a lead uppercut from the inside or mid-range distance, that's not that difficult to land, especially if your opponent's guard is a bit wide and he's open right up the middle. But when you're coming from the outside and you have to lunge in with the lead uppercut, that shit is difficult to land because it's telegraphed all the way to fuck until it gets to its target, if it gets there. Barrera was landing that punch at will. Go back and watch it. Can't make this shit up, family. So that's what I'm worried about. Errol Spence is the same fighter he was against those guys. The only difference is he's stepped up his game and fought other guys that are better than him, and his game plan still worked against those guys. Well, really, Leonard Bundu's in the same category as those guys, but I'll say Kell Brook and Lamont Peterson, right? Mm-hmm. But his game plan worked. The same game plan he did against them worked against Kell Brook and Lamont Peterson. That's all I'm saying. But I believe Mikey Garcia is far more smarter than both of those guys. I'm just saying, man. It's something that people need to consider. What you got for me next, Bo?
All right, man. All right, you guys, look here. He's not going to admit this live, but behind the scenes, all right, he told me this man has a Hall of Fame career, and if he had a chair, he would vote for him to be in the Hall of Fame. All right. So James DeGale has decided to retire, but 2K told me that this dude is a Hall of Fame fighter. And he deserves to be.
I don't remember saying that shit.
No, you don't remember saying that, man. You don't remember saying that. It was a conversation me and you had in my head.
Oh, yeah, well, that explains it, motherfucker. Yeah.
James DeGale has called it quits. He's announced his retirement. He made the right motherfucking decision. I'm gonna tell you why. I can't stress this. Olympic gold medalist, 2-time IBF champion, and you lose to a motherfucker with no jab that never had a coach his entire career but one training camp, and Chris Eubanks Jr., you do need to retire. You need to hang it up. I'm glad he did it, because the reality was, once he lost to Eubanks, how do you sell him now? Like, I'm serious. Like, how do you sell this now? How do you justify selling this dude to any public in another fight? Okay. Right. So, hey man, he's announced retirement. I wish him the best of luck. I think my biggest question is, how would we define James DeGale's career, man? Prodigy, how would you define his career if you had to?
Olympic gold medalist, 2-time IBF champion. You know what I'm saying? I mean, really, to be honest with you, Badou Jack took a lot out of him. If he wouldn't have fought Badou Jack, I don't think he'd be retiring right now. You know what I'm saying? It's a situation where right after that Badou Jack fight, he goes on to lose to like Caleb Truax, a journeyman. You know, no disrespect to my man Caleb, nice guy, but he's a journeyman. You know what I'm saying? That fight right there, he would have beat the dust off of Caleb Truax if he would have never gotten to that big ass dust up with Badou Jack. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, man, that's really the only knock on his resume, because losing to George Groves isn't a knock. George Groves is a good fighter. And also it was a split decision win for Groves. A lot of people thought James DeGale won that fight. So that's really the only knock on his resume when you scrutinize it to see whether or not he can go in the Hall of Fame. Now, my thing is this. When you let motherfuckers like what's the guy? What's the Irish guy's name, man? I'm having brain farts tonight, bro. It's just not flowing properly.
What division?
Damn, he's like the so help me out in the chat. This motherfucker is like the greatest Irish fighter ever, you know, in terms of popularity. McGuigan.
McGuigan.
Christopher Tom got it right after I said it. I said it. McGuigan. If this motherfucker makes the Hall of Fame, right? I'm drawing a blank on another guy, heavyweight white guy, lost to Floyd Patterson and beat Floyd Patterson. Help me out, chat. He lost
Floyd Patterson and beat Floyd Patterson?
Yeah, both of them. But Floyd Patterson knocked him out like in the second round and shit when they fought. Oh man, I can't think of his name. But he's in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? If these two guys can make the Hall of Fame. Yeah, exactly, Chris. I can't think of the guy's name, man.
Swedish guy.
Damn, I can't think of this guy's name.
Damn, you got me, dog.
Yeah, shit. Usually that shit roll off the tongue.
Yeah, man. I can't. Lost to Floyd Patterson.
Having a badass night right now, but whatever. The point is, that motherfucker shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, and he's in the Hall of Fame. So you see the Hall of Fame over time has been courteous. Thank you, sir. Ingemar Johansson. you see the Hall of Fame has been courteous over time.
Oh hell.
Yeah, Ingemar Johansson ass shouldn't be in no
Hold on. You know
Hall of
what's
Fame,
funny
man.
about that, dog? You know that's his only motherfucking like. That's the only reason why he got in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah. Exactly. But the Hall of Fame has been nice to motherfuckers over the course of history. So, you know, of course, you got Arturo Gatti. I mean, listen, man, rest in peace to Arturo Gatti. We shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Come on, people. You know what I'm saying? So, who knows? At this point in time, dog, it's hard to say this guy's going to make it, that guy's going to make it, because you don't know who the fuck they're going to put in there. But you got guys that can't buy their way into the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? You know, you still got Chris Eubanks Sr. not in the Hall of Fame. I don't think they inducted Michael Moore yet, right? So
yeah, okay, that's it.
Yeah, you got guys that can't buy their way into the Hall of Fame and shit, man. So, hey man, I don't know. He had a good career. I believe he's the first Olympic gold medalist to become, or let me say this, the first British Olympic gold medalist, and this is shout out to Bo, the first British Olympic gold medalist to be a two-time champion in the professional ranks. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So those type of things speak volumes when they scrutinize this guy's career. And don't think that the amateur situation or their amateur achievements doesn't help them get into the professional Hall of Fame, because it does. Okay, so we'll see what happens, man. Yeah, my man said Michael Nunn. Yeah, he ain't in there.
That's more of a political thing with Michael Nunn than anything.
Of course,
that's more political. You know, if you follow Three Kings Boxing, we wrote an article on Michael Nunn in our "Where Are They Now" segment. Mm-hmm. That's more of a political situation with Michael Nunn, you know, than anything. So,
my man.
Hey, Jackson, that's the only thing I'm gonna miss about James. Man.
Yo,
I miss that, man.
Y'all got me on Facebook, man. Go look at that shit I posted. Some cat said, you know, congratulations to James DeGale in his career, and he said we're gonna miss some favorable memories or some shit like that. So, he said a lot of moments to celebrate, and he had a collage of pictures of James DeGale's sister. It's like 5 pictures, bro.
Hey, low blow, whatever group you was in that said that, you either need to leave that group, or if you an admin, you need to clean the house.
Oh yeah, get him out of there. Get him out of there, dog. Real talk. All right, man. Bo, did you already go, man?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Right, it's your turn, man. Pick it up, man.
No, I wanted to talk about this myself, man. And somebody in the chat earlier had basically said that they believe Anthony Joshua fights this guy later on this year. And that's Kubrat Pulev. I don't know what the fuck this dude is doing, man. Now, listen, man. Top Rank sent us a press release yesterday. I posted on 3kingsboxing.com. Kubrat Pulev is coming back. Also on that card is what's his name? Jesse Magdaleno. You know what I'm saying? He's coming back, but he's moving up in weight. He moved up to 126. He'll no longer be at 122. But when it comes to Kubrat Pulev, this motherfucker's coming back to fight Bogdan Dinu. Now, y'all do remember that name, right? Before I actually give you the answer to where you think you would have heard that name from. Anybody? Bo was like, shit, I'm waiting on you, fam. Bogdan Dinu is the cat that Jarrell Miller knocked out. I think it was his second fight on DAZN, because I think his first fight was Tomas Adamek. You know what I'm saying? Then he fought Bogdan Dinu. Now he's in this fight with Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? So Bogdan Dinu's last fight was Jarrell Miller. My thing is, what the fuck is Kubrat Pulev doing? Because he's the #1 contender for the IBF, right? And he has not thrown his name. Now, of course, Anthony Joshua's fighting Jarrell Miller. We know that. But before that was even talked about, before that fight was even announced, you did not hear Kubrat Pulev throwing his fucking name in the pot. Let's go back a spell. Remember, once upon a time, Kubrat Pulev was supposed to fight Anthony Joshua. Y'all remember that, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, they pulled out due to a bias, or actually it was this. They were talking about pulling out. They actually pulled out, came back in, then they pulled out again. And the second pullout was due to an injury. He had like a bicep tear. He tore a pectoral muscle, something to that degree. It was an injury where I was looking at it like, hold on, man. I think it was his pectoral muscle. But I was looking at it like, dog, that type of injury, it takes a long time to heal. You tear your pectoral muscle, it takes a long time to heal. You know what I'm saying? And he was already ready to go like 5-6 months later, which wasn't enough time in my opinion. But, of course, Anthony Joshua ended up fighting, what's his name? Carlos Takam instead, right? Now, if you were already scheduled to fight Anthony Joshua in a unification bout, and, you know, you got a freak accident, and then you said, damn, man, you know, I'm trying to get this fight back, wouldn't we hear anything? I mean, we're deep in the media. We hear shit that y'all don't hear yet. And I'm telling you, Kubrat Pulev ain't tried to get that fight ever again. He's not tried to get it. When he beat my man Huggy, you know what I'm saying? My man Huggy Fury, when he beat Huggy, that was an IBF fucking eliminator. Well, where's the IBF? The IBF is the most strict of the 4 major sanctioning bodies. Where they at? That's true. They supposed to be like, hey, dog, we trying to get this fight. We trying to get this fight happening. They did it to Terrence Crawford when they tried to push Sergey Lipinets his way. You know, Terrence Crawford needed the help of the fans in order to get around fighting Sergey Lipinets in order to fight for Undisputed, right? Yep. So, I'm sorry, they did it to Julius Ndongo, excuse me. So Julius Ndongo needed the help of the fans.
Yeah, Julius Ndongo had to fight Lipinets, that's right, yeah.
Right. I remember Blood Boxing had a fucking goddamn lineup of fucking videos talking about Julius Ndongo, trying to promote him so that the IBF could possibly see his videos. I don't know if they did or didn't. That's either here nor there. But the point is, the fans were out there trying to promote this guy so that he could be able to fight in an undisputed bout against Terrence Crawford because the IBF is so strict. But they didn't say shit about this. They had a mandatory and then just sat back and chill. Daryl People just like, oh, yeah, there's a mandatory. Shit, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? You didn't say shit.
Nah, you're right about that. People's has been quiet about that. You're right about that, man.
Right. But neither did Kubrat Pulev, though. That's my point. None of his management team, nobody's trying to get this fight scheduled again with Anthony Joshua. Nobody. Mm-hmm. What the fuck is he doing, man? What do you think he's doing, Bo? He's 38 years old, I believe. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I think he's 38 or 39. I can't remember. But Bogdan Dinu, dog? What do you think, man?
I think what he's WBA let him fight for that regular title. But
man, look, man.
Listen, man. You know what's crazy?
He ain't getting that because Fresno Kendo, he's gonna get the shot. No matter what.
You know what's funny about that? I'm glad you mentioned that with Fresno Kendo, man. That cat, yo, if they would let him in, that cat would be undisputed champion right now.
Anyway, man, so get to your point. Get to your point, man. We ain't trying to know Chicago bias shit.
You know what's funny about that is Bob Dandino is actually ranked in the WBA.
Whoa. Did you say Bob Dandino?
Bob Dandino.
Oh, boy, I'm about to get on your ass. No homo. Yeah, you had it right, Bogdan. I thought you said Bob Dandino.
No.
Boy.
He's actually ranked by the WBA.
Yeah.
So you're not even fighting the cat that's ranked in the IBF.
Listen, Bogdan.
No Michael Hunter, no Sergey Kuz.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No Hovergat, no Andy Ruiz.
Yep.
You're fighting a dude that's not even ranked in your in even ranked by the governing body that you and what's funny about that is isn't that one of the stipulations? I forget what fight it was, but Bob was trying to make his guy fight that guy, and the guy hold the belt, and that organization said, no, he ain't finna fight that dude. That dude not even ranked in our organization.
Yeah.
What fight was that?
Jamel Herring, Masayuki Ito.
That's it, Jamel Herring, Masayuki Ito. And they was like, no, that's not finna happen, bro. This dude ain't even ranked in our rankings.
Yeah, Francisco Vargasell, the president of the WBO, jumped in and superseded what Top Rank and Bob Arum were saying. Was like, nah, bro, we not about to sanction that bullshit. Jamel Herring ain't ranked. Right. But the difference here though, Bo, He don't have to. I mean, Kubrat Pulev's not a champion. He doesn't have to fight anybody who's ranked.
But I'm just saying that how crazy is that you're even looking at doing that, you know? So basically, to me, man, and it goes back to when Kubrat Pulev was supposed to fight Anthony Joshua. Then he was asking for more time because he thought the Wilder fight was going to kick off. He wasn't ready, and it didn't kill. He's like, oh shit, damn it. Oh, okay, I need a little bit more time to train, and they was like, well, no, you okay? Yeah, you try. We give you 6 weeks. You better be ready. Oh, I got an injury.
Yeah,
I got an injury.
Exactly.
Right. So whatever Kubrat Pulev is doing, and whatever his team is doing, the one thing you can be certain is has nothing to do with them actually fighting for the championship. Right, that's become apparently obvious to me.
Exactly.
Whatever move y'all doing, it ain't got nothing to go with the championship. Like Dillian Whyte is out there. He's trying to get it. He's trying to get it mixed with a title shot. Okay. He's out there trying to get it mixed with a title shot. Ortiz is out there trying to get, and they being vocal. They calling whoever name they asked about. Okay. Big Baby Miller talked himself into a mother. I mean, he fought too. But what I'm saying is, it was his antagonizing Wilder and Joshua that finally led to him getting a goddamn title motherfucking fight. Hell, I seen David Haye talk himself into a title fight.
Let me say this.
With Klitschko.
When Jarrell Miller signed with DAZN, that's how that motherfucker got himself primed for that title fight. That's why I was telling motherfuckers he was going to fight Miller next after he beat Povetkin. Right again.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Right? Yep. But you know what I'm saying about by him being so vocal and everything like that, right?
Yeah, it's easier to promote. Absolutely.
Yeah. So whatever Kubrat Pulev and his team is doing, fighting this dude he's fighting right now, and like I said, he's not even in your ranking system. And this the guy I could see it if you fought someone that's in the top 10 of your ranking system. Okay, cool. You're not even fighting somebody that's in the top 10 of the ranking system you in. Y'all have no interest in fighting for a title. It's just grab money time. That's all it is, man.
Yep, I agree. It's I'm gonna just say it, bro. He ducking. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look here, bro. You know, if you're from where Kubrat Pulev, Bulgaria. If you're from Bulgaria, you in the
from Bulgaria.
Yeah, and you in the chat. Hey, man, no disrespect, but your man ducking straight up. He don't want that fight. Just like I said in the beginning, he pulled out, came back, and then pulled out, and then never talked about it again. I mean, most guys like for example, Luis Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? When he got the damn the blood pressure medicine, I remember a lot of motherfuckers were like, "Man, he don't want to fight Deontay Wilder." Niggas was going crazy. He don't want that fight. Man, this motherfucker could have easily put on the WBC, you know, the documentation where you say what you're taking before they test you. He could have easily put that. How the fuck he gonna forget he taking blood pressure medication? Shit, even Deontay Wilder was out there. That motherfucker don't want to fight. Niggas don't want to see me. What did Luis Ortiz do? That motherfucker, I think he had a fight in between there. He knocked the motherfucker out.
No, he fought the dude and then got in Wilder's face, and Wilder was at the table.
That's what I said.
I want to fight you.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. He fought the dude, knocked him the fuck out, start beating on his chest. Then he got in Wilder's face. Exactly. I don't see Luis Ortiz doing that shit after he beat Huggy. I mean, not Luis Ortiz, Kubrat Pulev.
Kubrat.
I don't see Kubrat Pulev doing that shit after he beat Huggy. That motherfucker didn't do not one beat on his chest. You know what I'm saying?
Motherfucker called Anthony to the ring.
Yeah, exactly. Dillian Whyte called him into the ring and said, "Hey man, give me the rematch right now." You know, these cats is trying to get fights. If there's some unfortunate situation where they're out of the fight, they trying to get back into that motherfucker. Everybody doing that, but Kubrat Pulev. He ducked. Duck. What you got for me, Bo?
Man, look here, dog. Oh man. All right. In a strange, for whatever reason, and we're gonna have to break this down. And you know, actually, when I think about it, it might be justified. Donnie Nietes has dropped his belt. All right, he's skipping out on his rematch fight where Aston
Palicte.
There you go. There you go.
That's how I be saying it.
He's skipping out on his rematch fight with Palicte. 2K, man, what you think about this, man? Because this is uncharacteristic of Donnie Nietes. It don't look good, bro. Don't look good, man.
You know the funny part about this this news is that I just had seen maybe an hour prior to us getting wind that he was dropping his belt, that Francisco Vargasell, I'm saying his name wrong, but fuck it, whatever. The president of the WBO was talking about how they're going to honor Donnie Nietes at a convention because of his illustrious career.
Mm-hmm.
And then an hour later, we get this news. So they still going to honor him? You know what I'm saying? They still going to honor the cat? Look, man, Donnie Nietes hadn't fought a hard fight like that in a very long time, man.
No, he did not.
A lot of cats didn't know who Aston Palicte was. Nobody knew who he was, actually. A number of Filipinos. Only reason why I knew who the fuck he was because I'm in an all-Filipino chat on Facebook, and they were talking about him before the fight was even announced. You know what I'm saying? Donnie Nietes was running through cats. The last draw he had was, what, 6 years ago? 7 years ago, he fought the cat Moises Fuentes. You know what I'm saying? That's the last draw that Donnie Nietes had. So come up to 2018, he fights a cat who's 24-2 at that time, and he has a fight of his life, right? It was actually a very good fight. I think the draw was warranted. A lot of people thought Nietes won. Some people thought Palicte won. You know what I'm saying? But the draw was warranted. And then you got him fighting Kazuto Ioka right after that, which was, I think, on when that shit on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. Last year.
It was like New Year's Eve. Yeah, it was New Year's Eve.
Because Japan usually has those New Year's Eve cards and shit where they had their top fighters and shit. But that was a hard fight for him. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he ended up winning. He squeaked by. I thought the fight could have gone either way, but I think the other judges, two of the judges had like a big deficit for or a big advantage for yeah. I can't remember, but I just remember looking at the scorecards. The fight was closer than that. But anyway,
I actually thought. Go ahead, because I'm gonna tell you on my phone. I thought Ioka was just a victim of notability and fame. That's what I believe he was.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Well, I got something on that. But anyway, I feel like Nietes was like, damn, I'm not trying to fight 3 hard-ass fights in a row. Because soon as Aston Palicte knocked out, I think his name was Juan Martinez, Puerto Rican cat. He was undefeated, I think, at the time. He knocked him out in Las Vegas recently. And the reason why I know is because they were sending us credentials and shit to go to the fight, right? His name's Jose Martinez. And he's a fighter that was promoted by Miguel Cotto Promotions. So Aston Palicte.
Riveco? Juan Carlos Riveco?
Oh, okay. No, Jose Martinez. This is who Aston Palicte fought last. Yeah, in Las Vegas. He fought him in January. And he's promoted by Miguel Cotto. When he won that fight, the WBO immediately ordered Donnie Nietes fight Palicte in a rematch because that fight with Jose Martinez was an eliminator. You see what I'm saying? So, and then they ordered it. They had a purse bid date. And fucking Donnie Nietes is just like, man, fuck it, dog. I'm not going through that shit. Y'all niggas trying to get me killed, bro.
He did. He said, I'm out. I'm out.
He said, fuck your title. I'm out, dog. So now you got the title vacant, and they talking about a possible Aston Palicte versus Kazuto Ioka fight.
Right.
So that gives Kazuto Ioka another opportunity to get the title back. I don't know, man. Listen, I like Donnie Nietes. I know he's 36 years old. I think he's going to be turning 37 sometime soon. But the thing is when you got that belt, man, they're going to want you to fight the best. That's just what it is, especially at the lower weight divisions. This is super flyweight. This is 115 pounds. They're going to want you to fight the best. And super flyweight is a stacked division from the top all the way to the mid-level. Those guys are stacked. They're very good fighters. Aston Palicte is a mid-level fighter there. You see what I'm saying? And he gave a top-level fighter trouble. So they're going to want you to fight the best, man. There's no ducking and dodging it. Now, unless he retires, I'm trying to figure out what direction is he trying to go. You dropped the title, so what do you expect to do? Are you moving to bantamweight? Are you moving back down to 112? What are you trying to do? So I don't know, man. I can't really gauge the decision. I'm a little upset because I wanted to see the rematch because the first fight was so damn good. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's just like I'm trying to figure out where he's gonna go before I actually pass judgment on him. What do you think about the decision, man?
All right, man. Here's the thing about that right there, right? As much as I want to be mad at Nietes, I can't, and I'm gonna tell you why. That fight with Palicte, he was moving up in weight. It was for the vacant WBO it was for the vacant WBO super flyweight title. Right. So he was moving up from flyweight to super flyweight, and that was the first fight that he had. Was that?
That's true. Yep.
Okay. So he's looking at that. Okay, I got a draw. Then he fought again for that same vacant title against Kazuta Ioka.
Yep.
Right. And that was a second hard fight. He like, okay, wait, hold on. Time out. Okay, so I move up in weight. I accept this first fight, but then I get in this next hard fight. All right, cool, bet. All right, so I win. I get a chance to have a voluntary, right? They're like, no, dog, you got to fight, that guy, Palicte again. Oh no, motherfuckers, no, hell no.
Oh, that's what he did, man. Yep.
Y'all not gonna do me like this shit right here, man.
Y'all got me fucked up, man. That's 3 hard-ass fights in a row.
Got me fucked up, and I don't blame, you know what? And I can't blame him for that. I really, as much as I want to, you know what I'm saying? Being a dude that's like 25 plus 25, okay. I can tell you right now, man, if I was at 36 years old, and y'all talking about some 3 back-to-back fights, and then it's not so much as the fight being hard, is also you got to look at this. That Palicte is motivated. That's why he beat the brakes off Jose Martinez. He's motivated. Okay. He's highly motivated. That's why he said, oh no, dog, I won that fight. And they told him, well, you win this fight, we give you another crack at it. What? Word? Jose Martinez, knock, knock, boom, boom. Okay. What's up? And they was like, all right, you get it. And you got Nietes is looking at this like, no, man, there's other things that I can fucking do. Y'all must don't know who the fuck I am over here in my goddamn country.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Y'all don't know who the fuck I am over here in my motherfucking country. Motherfucker, I would drop that goddamn belt. I would talk to Cajas, or I would talk to motherfucking Andrew Maloney, or hell, I'll go back down to motherfucking flyweight, you know what I'm saying? And talk to Charlie Edwards. You know what I'm saying? Kashi Tanaka, Trim Dalakian, or something like that. Y'all got me fucked up for real.
You know what, Bo? Now that I think about it, I did hear something about a German and Cajas matchup.
Mm-hmm.
But this was like January, or maybe even, it was January, mid-January. But I'm not sure about that, man. They're both from the same country. I don't know how they feel about that. I got to do some research on that shit. The little guys are a little bit more difficult because you're not going to get a lot of information on them.
No, you're not.
You know, unless you got a real, Asian plug, and we got an Asian plug, but he don't know, like the inside track about what these motherfuckers are talking about. So
that shit, that shit is like them motherfuckers keep secrets like for real.
Yeah, like literally, like some of the Japanese big fights, you won't hear that those fights are even being talked about until they've already announced the goddamn fight. Actually, the damn Kazuta Ioka Donnie Nietes fight sprung up on us out of nowhere.
Yes, actually it did. To be real talk. Matter of fact, that and that Jose Martinez and Ioka fight just sprung up out of nowhere.
Aston Palicte, that sprung up out of nowhere.
Yeah, Jose Martinez and that Palicte fight sprung up on us out of nowhere.
I got a press release on that shit. That's how I knew about that. The press release was it was talking about the fight, and it was media credentials at the same time, which is some shit you don't never do. You never get it at the same time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, it was those fights are always sprung up on us. You know what I'm saying? So I got to do some research on that, man. But I remember hearing that they're talking about Donnie Nietes, German, and Cajas. So
right, because now he wants to get paid for this shit. And he's like, look, y'all got to give me a bag of money for these tough fights, man. Y'all motherfuckers got me fucked up for real.
Yeah,
y'all got me fucked up for real.
And by the way, that's an excellent matchup, man. I know they were talking about German and Cajas fighting the winner of Sarisky Sor Rungvisai and Juan Francisco Estrada.
Right.
Yeah, that's an excellent matchup.
And we talked about that last fucking year.
Sure did.
We was talking about that last year.
Sure did.
You're right. That's an excellent matchup.
Yeah, those are excellent fights, man. All right, Bo, what you got for me, man?
All right, man. All right, man. Look here, man. I guess I got to talk about it. I'm not happy. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, it don't make me motherfucking feel good, but okay, cool.
I know where you're going.
Brian Castano versus Erislandy Lara is gonna be.
Hey man, hold on, man.
What,
man. I need you to be a little bit more lively than that, man.
Oh,
you know
okay,
what I'm saying?
Bad. Okay, my bad. Brian Castano is going to be fighting Erislandy Lara for the WBA. Oh, I thought when you mean live, I thought you mean to raise my voice. Is that what you
hey, man, let's just clear the air, man. What is your fucking problem with Erislandy Lara, bro? What's your problem with
the nigga needs to fight Demetrius Andrade. With you, man. He needs to just fight Demetrius Andrade.
That's your problem.
You tweeted. He tweeted out. He said, I told my team, give me the Andrade fight. This was this was like in November one time. He tweeted, no, December of like 2017. He said, I told my team, give me the Andrade fight for next year. Be careful what you ask for. Merry Christmas, I'll wrap you in the box. Then he tweeted one time, bitch number 1, Swift Hurd. Bitch number 2, Boo Boo.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I do remember. But he did fight Swift though. He fought Swift.
He fought Swift, but he didn't fight Andrade. And I need to see that fight because I need to finally have closure on that shit.
Hey, my man in the chat, thank you. I be trying to tell my man
I don't give a shit about that. Lara said he go to 160 for GGG. We'll offer him a bag of money to fight Boo Boo.
Hey, listen, man. The shit didn't happen. They fought in the amateurs. Lara tapped that motherfucking ass twice in the amateurs. Why you gotta fight him in the professionals for? Ain't no reason to fight that motherfucker. He already beat him twice. It's just like Artur Beterbiev don't gotta fight Kovalev.
2K, what happened to you?
Oh, hell nah, man. Hell nah. I'm just saying. He ain't gotta fight the mother. He already beat him twice. Listen, and the whole thing about Triple G, you know, fighters say certain things, bro. You know what I'm saying? We might say something here and there. And, you know, we might go do something differently. Nothing wrong with that. Shit. Listen, this is a good fight this weekend. He don't want to talk about, I'll talk about Erislandy Lara versus Brian Castano, and the other way around, because Brian Castano is the WBA regular champion. It's a good fight. Brian Castano is actually a very good boxer. He's a good, he applies a lot of pressure behind the jab. He's a good fighter. And he's not dumb. He's a smart fighter on top of that. So this is going to be a tough fight for Lara, especially what we've seen against Jarrell Miller. A lot of cats feel that Erislandy Lara doesn't have that slick, elusive ability anymore because he's getting old. I think Lara's, what, 35 plus 10? He's 45 years old. You know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers think, hey, man, this is it. This is it for Lara. So, hey, man, if he wins this fight, he becomes a WBA regular champion. And guess what? Guess who's in the sights after that? It's going to be a rematch. It's going to be a rematch.
Yo.
So, yeah, I hear you.
All
So he has an opportunity to rematch Jarrell Miller. You see what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens, man. But it's an excellent fight because stylistically and given how old Erislandy Lara is and how old he might have looked based on how you perceived his performance against Jarrell Miller, this fight could be very good. It could be one that Erislandy Lara loses. I can't wait to see it, man. March 2nd this weekend. Shit.
No, I don't know if you noticed, man. For whatever reason, man, I dropped out.
Oh yeah, I noticed.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
yeah, I'm good at working with shit, bro. I knew you was out.
You see, that's what Erislandy Lara do. That's what Erislandy Lara do. Erislandy, see, even my laptop is like, fuck Erislandy Lara. Even my laptop, even my internet, like, man, fuck Erislandy Lara. Even my internet is like that, man.
Hell yeah.
But all bullshit aside, though, no, I agree with you 100%. It is actually a good fight. And if y'all don't know that cat Brian Castano, y'all need to go check that dude out. This is not gonna be I don't think this not gonna be an easy fight for Lara in no shape, form, or fashion. Okay, this not gonna be an easy fight for Lara. Lara is gonna earn his money. You know what I'm saying? But just for the sake of argument, y'all, I'm gonna hold on to my grudge against Lara until I see that man fight Andrade. I don't care if them two motherfuckers is 60 years old and I'm 100. And if they fight each other, they could slap box in the store and I'll be happy.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
That boat has sailed, fam. That boat has sailed, bro. They're not fighting. And honestly, I wouldn't want Lara fighting Andre right now any fucking way. Andre knock it. Well, he won't knock him out, but he whoop his ass. You know, I thought Andre was gonna beat him anyway, to be honest with you. When they were at 154, I had Andre winning a split decision if they had ever fought.
Shit, I did.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? But at this point in time, man, it's not something that Lara needs to do. And exactly what my man the Texas said, he's interested to see if Lara still has his legs. That's what a lot of people are interested in seeing. Yeah, and Brian Castano is gonna be the right fighter to test whether or not Lara still has that elusive ability. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Does
man,
he have
why should Lara go to the zone, man? Get a bag of money. Check it out. Lara can actually make history. He'd be the first Cuban fighter to ever sign to 2 major network boxing stations in the history of fucking boxing.
All right, you know what that stat reminds me of?
When we say some bullshit. What?
Listen, man, that stat reminds me of when we watch the NBA and they be like, so-and-so is the first point guard to shoot 1 3-pointer while standing on 1 leg and get an assist while the ball goes in the hoop. How the fuck did he assist to himself? That's the kind of stat that shit. Nobody give a fuck about that. Listen, if he goes to the zone, though, that will be. See, let me say this: you won't see Erislandy Lara make a move like that unless he's at the end of his career.
I agree with that.
But I think that he stays with PBC until he retires. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you do see something like that, it'd be because he might have lost to Brian Castano. And he's not talking about retiring because let's check this out. If he loses to Brian Castano, I'm not gonna say he's. Well, I'm not gonna say he's.
I think it is.
Well, let me say this. I'm not gonna say he's done because I do think there will be people interested in seeing him fight somebody else, some prospects that they have at 154, right? Mm-hmm. I could see that. They fight Erislandy Lara to get a name on their resume. I could see that. But if he loses to Brian Castano, it will be a situation where he's going to be clamoring to see where his status is in boxing. And maybe PBC could end up dropping the motherfucker. And then I could see him going to somewhere like DAZN because DAZN always has these matchups. Like, look what DAZN did with Brandon Rios. You know what I'm saying? Canelo's brother and then Humberto Soto. Nobody thought Humberto Soto, well, let me say this. A few people thought Humberto Soto was going to whoop his ass. You know what I'm saying? we knew it was going to be a good fight. Yeah. But few people thought that Humberto Soto was going to beat him the way he did. I don't think DAZN realized Humberto Soto was a live dog in that fight.
No, I don't think they did either.
Right. They looked at his age. They looked at where he comes from, where he's been at, who he's fought. Like my man Bo said on the last podcast, he fought fucking Kevin Kelly when I was in the 7th grade. 97? Was that 1997? Yeah, I was like in the
97, dog.
I was in the 7th, 8th grade when he did that. You know what I'm saying? So that's how long ago it was. I'm an old ass nigga with 3 kids now. That's how long he been boxing.
Joan Diaz.
Yeah, Joan
Juarez.
Yep. So that's my point. I don't think DAZN knew the danger that they were putting Brandon Rios in, but they still signed him anyway, and they're still going to continue to deal with him. So they could definitely do that with Erislandy Lara if he loses to Brian Castano. But that's the only time you would see a deal like that happen is if he lost this fight. You know what I'm saying?
I can see that, man. All right, Prodigy, man, what you got for your boy, man?
Hey, your boy, your other Cuban, he's coming back, man. We talked about it earlier. Christian Hammer. Should be easy work. You know what I'm saying? Look here. This is the big deal. Luis Ortiz is still a top fighter at heavyweight. Listen, and I'm one of these guys. I talked about Luis Ortiz being the most skilled heavyweight in boxing at this point in time, right? What he brought to the ring, the things that he was able to do in the ring, his IQ. I talked about that for the last, 2-3 years before he fought Wilder, right? I said, this guy is definitely a wild card in the heavyweight division. That's why cats are freezing him out, not talking about fighting him. The only motherfuckers that were talking about fighting him was Deontay Wilder. That's it. Not even Anthony Joshua talked about fighting Luis Ortiz. Not even Tyson Fury talked about fighting Luis Ortiz. Only Deontay Wilder, right? And of course, it was a fight he was winning, but he got caught twice, 3 times actually. Got knocked down early in the fight, and then got caught again, knocked down, and then caught again where he was out. So it's a situation where
Wilder in trouble too now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He was winning the fight, though. Yeah. I mean, I had him winning the fight, but the judges didn't. And let's say if it would have went to the scorecard, they had a robbery set, fam. They were about to rob the shit out of Luis Ortiz, man. You know what I'm saying? But he's still one of the best fighters at heavyweight. He's still a top quality fighter, right?
Yes, he is.
Christian Hammer, while he's a contender, remember Alexander Povetkin gave him that business not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? Tyson Fury gave him that business not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? Marius Wach. Do y'all remember that name? Castano, like, who the fuck is Marius Wach? Well, I'll enlighten you a bit. You know what I'm saying? Marius Wach is the guy that Jarrell Miller beat the dust off of 2 years ago. All right? I think that was after he beat Gerald Washington. He beat Marius Wach. And Marius Wach was supposed to be this big guy with a jab. Actually, I remember when Wach fought Vladimir Klitschko. And I think he had the height and reach advantage or something like that to that degree. And Cass was like, man, it's a difficult fight for Vladimir because Wach has a good jab. Man, Vladimir beat the fuck out of this boy. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
So Christian Hammer lost to this guy. This should be easy work, man. I'm talking 4 rounds. 4 rounds, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Christian Hammer has ever been stopped. Actually, he has been stopped. I actually remember he has been stopped. 4 rounds, fam. Easy work. Also, Luis Ortiz is already in the media talking about he wants a Deontay Wilder rematch and he wants a shot at Anthony Joshua. So I'm thinking, man, maybe if Deontay Wilder, well, we already know Deontay Wilder is not going to fight Tyson Fury, right? Tyson Fury said they might fight him at the end of this year. I don't think it happens at the end of this year either. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so either.
If Deontay Wilder fights, let's say he fights Dominic Breazeale, that's a knockout, right? That's a knockout. Maybe we can get a Luis Ortiz rematch at the end of the year. Because this is exactly what he wants. Plus, Luis Ortiz, I believe, in the WBC rankings is number 3. So this is an opportunity, man. What do you think about it, man?
I think it's an opportunity. But I think that we can't look past Christian Hammer. I really don't think we can look past Christian Hammer because he had a good showing against Alexander Povetkin, right? And I just think at this point of Luis Ortiz's career, man, a cat like Christian Hammer can sneak up on him and possibly beat him. Y'all know I'm just fucking around.
Hell yeah.
This is Luis Ortiz. This ain't Erislandy Lara I'm talking about. Motherfucker, hell yeah. Look, man. You know what though? The thing about the thing about it is that actually a rematch with Luis Ortiz, I don't care how anybody feels, is actually good for Deontay Wilder. Okay, because like you said, Luis Ortiz got into a fight where when he thought he had Deontay Wilder hurt, and I seen somebody say something about some 20 seconds. It wasn't 20 seconds, bro. It don't take 20 seconds to stick a mouthpiece in your mouth. But but unless you're talking about the number of punches he got hit with, cool. It is what it is, right? But yeah. Luis Ortiz, dog, is still when I say, man, name 5 heavyweights that's not Wilder, Joshua, and Fury. Luis Ortiz is going to be either 1 or 2 of the names that you mentioned. So he's still a top 10, top 5 heavyweight. Okay. I mean, if you take out them 3 guys, he's top 5. But if you even include them, he's somewhere in the top 10. So he's still a top 10 valuable heavyweight. He's still a dangerous heavyweight as far as coming from the Cuban school of boxing. Of course, having that left hand, and then he does have power in that left hand. We saw in the Wilder fight that he can get knocked down and get up. Okay, and he got up, survived, and then hurt Deontay. So it's still a lot of gas in that tank. It's still some good tread on them tires. So I would love to see what a Luis Ortiz, now that he done got to look, because Luis Ortiz has a decent ring IQ. So now that he done got to look at Deontay Wilder, I'll be interested to see what he would do in a rematch against Wilder.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's a good fight. If he goes in there with Christian Hammer and he beats Christian Hammer, and I mean he obliterates Christian Hammer, that's a good fight, man.
I think it's an excellent fight. So I mean, just understand that there are some good fights that can be made. There's actually heavyweight has, if you take out Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, take them out of the picture and look at what you have left in the heavyweight division. There's some good matchups in that middle tier area. You know what I'm saying? Like the contendership area at the heavyweight division. There's some good matchups there. You know what I'm saying? I like to see, and a lot of cats might disagree with this, I'd like to see Luis Ortiz and Adam Kalnaki. You know what I'm saying? Style clash, because Adam Kalnaki is going to keep punching. We're talking about this motherfucker's punching 100, 150 punches around. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't get tired. Fat motherfucker that doesn't get tired. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to see that. Dillian White versus anybody. You know what I'm saying? That's in that contender tier. I'd like to see that. I was liking Dillian White versus Dominic Breazeale. You know what I'm saying? Like my man Christian said, Ortiz versus White. Hell yeah, I like that shit. They were actually talking about that before, and then for some reason it didn't happen. There, you know, I know what happened, but for some reason it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that middle tier, if you take out the top guys at heavyweight, there's actually some good fights that could be made there, man. So we'll see what goes down. And shout out to my man Chris on the correction. Humberto Soto and Kevin Kelly fought in 2002. So nigga, I wasn't in the 7th grade at that time. I was already graduated high school and shit at that time. So
it still was a long time away. Long time away. Shit, y'all motherfuckers was still probably drinking milk, chasing girls on your bicycles and shit.
Hell yeah. One guy I want to mention before we close it out. On the same card, also, you know, this is the March 2nd card on Showtime, guys. You can watch it on Showtime. You can watch it on the Showtime app. Erislandy, Lara, and Brian Castano, Luis Ortiz, and Christian Hammer. Also on the card is Edner Cherry. The reason why I'm mentioning Edner Cherry is because Edner Cherry is still every bit of fighter he was when he, in my opinion, defeated Jose Pedraza and gave him his first loss back in 2015. Okay. Jose Pedraza actually should have never became the IBF champion. I thought he lost to Edner Cherry.
I thought he did too.
So he's every bit of that same fighter. The reason why it's significant to see if he wins this fight that he has this weekend is because he could possibly be the next guy in line to fight Gervonta Davis. They've been talking about that. So yeah, I like that fight. I actually like that fight. I have Tank winning it. But I think it's a good fight where Tank could be tested a little bit, because Edner Cherry's not a pushover.
No, he's
not. You know what I'm saying? He's not a pushover. He applies a lot of pressure. You know what I'm saying? He throws a lot of punches. And again, he's not a dumb fighter. So the only thing about Edner Cherry is at times he comes off of the game plan. You know what I'm saying? You can catch him trying to fight and shit in the pocket, you know, and that gets him in trouble. And that's what was getting him in trouble a little bit against Jose Pedraza. And maybe that's what the judges saw, and they said, well, fuck it, Edner Cherry lost this fight. You know what I'm saying? But he's actually a pretty decent fighter in terms of style clashing. It's definitely a good style matchup on paper. So that's a fight I'm looking forward to seeing if they make it happen. Of course, we want Tank to fight Tevin Farmer and shit. We want him to fight, you know, one of the other champions, Miguel Burchell, Masayuki Ito at 130. Hell, cats are still talking about Loma, even though Loma's at 135. It's not happening, fellas. None of that shit is happening. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that was earlier in his career, I believe.
Yeah, I say way early in his career.
Yeah, when he lost to Paulie Malignaggi, that was way earlier, but he's looked much better since then. Like I said, in my opinion, he beat Jose Pedraza. He was the first guy to beat Jose Pedraza. But yeah, it's those fights are not happening for Gervonta Tank Davis. Floyd Mayweather already made it clear that they're going to make as much money as they can going the easiest route. You know what I'm saying? So don't be looking for a Miguel Burchell or any of those guys as long as he's with a Floyd Mayweather. So an Edner Cherry bout, if that goes down, that's probably as good as it fucking gets. You know what I'm saying? So
You done. You crazy, dog.
it is what it is.
It ain't gonna get no better than this.
Yeah, oh shit, nigga, you better be happy you gonna get that.
Be like how he did at the end of the Badu Jack fight when DeGale was like, "Hey, let's do a rematch," and Badu Jack looked at Floyd and Floyd. Badu Jack, his body has grown out of the division, and unfortunately, Jack is gonna have to go up in weight to 175. His, but the if you want the rematch, come to 175. We could do the rematch at 175.
Yep.
Again, Badu Jack.
Hey, in that same interview, didn't the dude, I want to say it was Jim Gray, wasn't he like, hey man, we asked Badu the question?
Yeah.
Either you gonna let Badu talk, motherfucker?
Yeah,
that's what Floyd do, man. Hey, Tank, Vasily Lomachenko, we see him as the best fighter in your division. This, of course, when Tank was at 130. He's the best fighter in your division. Nobody's touching him. How do you feel about that? Here come Floyd. Let me get that. Like, damn, nigga. Like, let these motherfuckers talk, man. But it is what it is, man. Like I said, as long as Tank is with Floyd, don't think that these big-time matchups are ever going to go down. They not. If they do, if I'm wrong, good. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't think they go down, man.
But based off what they're saying and how they moving him, I agree with that.
He already said it. We gonna make the most money going the easiest route. It's just a variant of what Angel Garcia said about fucking fighting Rod Selkers for millions of dollars and shit. It's a variant of that. Same shit, just said differently. So it is what it is. Let me see if I can get some questions in here, man, before we get up out of here, man. Let's see. Let's see.
You forgot one topic though.
What did I forget?
Oh, dog.
What did I forget?
Miller bringing in Daniel Dubious.
Oh shit, I forgot all about that. Yeah. Let's jump into that. Damn, I forgot all about that. Jarrell Miller bringing in Daniel DeBose for Anthony Joshua. Now,
what did I say? Dubious.
Yeah, I don't know how to say his name either. That's some French shit. I be saying Dubois, DeBose. I don't know what to say, bro. But the thing is, as we all know, if you don't know, you're about to learn now. Daniel DeBose gave Anthony Joshua hell in a series of sparring sessions to where he dropped him multiple times, from what I'm hearing. So a lot of the UK fighters or fans out there, believe that Daniel DeBose can beat Anthony Joshua right now. They think he beats him now. So he's incorporated Daniel DeBose, and he said, this was his words, I'm not going to find anybody as big as me. I'm the biggest guy at heavyweight. He said, but I can find guys that match him in height and that have a good jab. And he's right. Daniel DeBose is that guy. He is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he actually, I think he has a better jab than Anthony Joshua. Joshua's jab is stiff. So is DeBose's, but Daniel DeBose can actually add variant to his jab. You know what I'm saying? Where Anthony Joshua jabs one way, and he uses it as if it's a straight right hand. You see what I'm saying? So I believe his jab is better. I actually believe Daniel DeBose has a little bit more technical ability to him. So I think this is a good move for Jarrell Miller. Now, this is the thing. Alexander Povetkin also employed Daniel DeBose, and you saw what happened to him.
You motherfucker, stole my goddamn point. You stole my point.
Yeah. Come on, man. You know, if you know, I might know, motherfucker.
But
if you know, I might know.
Oh,
if Povetkin employed him, you saw what happened to him. What's to say the same thing won't happen to what's his name? Jarrell Miller. What you think about that, man? Go ahead and talk on your point.
Well, my point is, and Tom, y'all motherfuckers in the chat stealing my goddamn point too. Damn. I was gonna touch on the sparring session. Yeah, you know what? That was a little bit a while ago, and you're absolutely right about that. But here's the thing, though. He said, "Do we want to place that much trust in sparring session that happened ages ago?" Yeah, of course, because that sparring sessions is what's led to the growth of Daniel DeBose, right? So by bringing in DeBose, right? And even though it was a long time ago, but you're still bringing in a guy, okay, that still has experience. So whether it was a long time ago or whatever, you're still bringing a guy in that has the experience of being in there, okay, with Anthony Joshua, okay. So that's valuable, and you're bringing a guy in there that has the type of jab and the type of power as Anthony Joshua. So it's good for Jarrell Miller. It really is, because Jarrell Miller made a very good point. And he said, well, you know, Joshua's going to have a hard time bringing in guys as big as me. And he's actually right. Like bringing in big that has a motor and, you know, and has, you know, has that motor that Big Baby Miller has, and that work rate, that is going to be hard for him to find. Okay. And he's right. So Jarrell Miller, all he has to do is bring in guys with a similar style and bringing in a cat that has some knowledge. It's not to say that Joshua's changed, but at least he has some knowledge of how Joshua was. Figure out, hey, what did you do to, you know, to knock him down, if you knocked him down or not? So what did you do to knock him down? So it's a smart move on Jarrell Miller's part, bringing in Daniel Dubois, and Daniel Dubois has had experience in there with, you know, aspiring cats like Povetkin. So bringing him in does not hurt Jarrell Miller at all. Period. Right. And you know, he also sparred cats like Derek Chisora, right, you know, when he was 17. So bringing him in, man, that, you know, whether like having any type of an insight is a plus for Jarrell Miller going, you know what I'm saying, going in there to face Anthony Joshua. Right. So I definitely like it. I like the move. I like bringing this boy in. Now, remind you, that's if he get past he's fighting that cat, Castano. Is that his name? Castano. Daniel Dubois is fighting the cat named Castano.
Oh, yeah, Castano. Yeah. I
right, he's fighting Castano, and Castano is 6'7", talking that stuff about how, you know, size matter and all that. But Castano got knocked out by Dubois' rival.
Sure did.
That dude, that he's 14-0. So Dubois is looking to, you know what I'm saying? Dubois is looking to prove a point to his rival by beating this dude up real quick, and then he's going to come over here to the U.S. But any type of insight is a big plus for Jarrell Miller. Going into the biggest fight of your life, man, you got to pull out all motherfucking stops, man.
Yeah. You talking about Nathan Gorman, right?
Nathan Gorman, that's him. Yeah. Thank you very much. Nathan
that's
Gorman.
Dan Dubois' rival, everybody.
I'm about to say Guman and shit, but I'm saying.
Yeah, that's actually a good fight, too. If that Nathan Gorman, that motherfucker be calling Dubois out every day.
Yes, he is.
Every day he's calling Dubois out, man. That's actually a pretty decent fight. All right, man, we're gonna go ahead and end it there. Let me see if I can find some shit real quick, some shit to say. No, Porter versus Ugas is not this week. I can get that for you real quick. Let's see when Porter versus Ugas. I believe it's like the 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Porter versus Ugas. Where's that shit at? I don't even see it on here. Oh, March 9th. March 9th. So that's the week after this weekend.
Oh, I can't wait for that one.
Yeah. Yeah, Ugas is actually pretty confident too, man. You know what I'm saying?
He better be.
Yeah, he's pretty confident. I mean, I think another Cuban loses. But that's not the point. So
time out. What did you say? You try to sneak that in? What did you say? Hold on, dog. You know what? All right, man. Yo, look, man. Next week, be here next week. The Pit, Bo 2K. 2K taking Porter, Bo taking Ugas.
Oh, all right, well, that's easy work for me then. Shit, I'm ready for that. Look, Ugas.
Nobody easy work.
That nigga Ugas is just a 147-pound version of Tevin Farmer. And he's worse when it comes to sitting in that fucking pocket, boy. I can't stand when Ugas don't move. Tevin Farmer starts doing that shit like round 7, 8. Ugas be doing that shit in the beginning of the fight, man. I can't stand it. I can't stand that shit, man.
Yo, that fight right there, Hammer versus Shields, that's a good fight, and I'm going with Shields, and I'm going to tell you why I'm picking Shields. The thing about that fight is there was a point in time I thought Shields wasn't ready to fight Hammer, right? But what Hammer has done is she's allowed Shields to that fight where Shields fought Hannah Gabriel. Okay, that was the toughest fight of her career. Shields got knocked down and had to get back up. So now Shields knows what it's like to be in there with a tough opponent, with someone who's moving, with someone with very good boxing skills, right? And on top of that, she's finally tasted a little bit of humbleness. So she's learned from that fight. Hammer was out all this time, and and Shields made a good point. The last girl you fought had lost like 2 fights in a row, whatever it was, right? So I'm liking that fight, man. I'm gonna have to go with Shields. I just think Shields has finally peaked at a time when Hammer coming back from an injury, all right, may just not be in my honest opinion. I think Hammer should take another fight before rushing into this. I don't think the opponent she fought prepares her for Clarissa Shields, as to where Clarissa Shields had been fighting opponents preparing her for Christina Hammer.
Well, Shields is the easy pick. She's the most popular women's fighter out there. Showtime has put a lot of money into her. The fight is on Showtime, and it's in the United States. The fight goes the distance. That's the easier pick, right? Mind you, neither one of these girls are really known for their power, but Christina Hammer has a better chance of knocking somebody out than Clarissa Shields does. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't think there's a knockout in this fight. I think it does go to the cards, and I don't see Hammer taking a decision unless she just completely obliterates Clarissa Shields, and I don't see anybody obliterating Clarissa Shields. That's the easy pick. But I think Christina Hammer is going to bring something to this fight where there's a possibility we might lead this motherfucker and be like, man, Hammer actually could have won that fight. That's a possibility.
Yeah, I believe that.
So I don't know, man. Hey, I appreciate the bullshit compliment. The burnt sugar of women's boxing.
You more like burnt sugar.
You know what I mean? The burnt sugar.
You like burnt sugar, more like light skin sugar. Like yellow sugar.
Oh, hell no. All right, man. We're going to get the fuck up out of here. I'm going to try to get y'all's questions a lot better next time. We had a lot of activity in the chat this week. So, as always, like I say, every Monday and Thursday at 9:30 Eastern Time, 8:30 Central, 6:30 Pacific, we will be here on the Prodigy of Boxing Talk, throwing out some real shit. The realest podcast you're going to see on YouTube. Nobody brings it as real, as entertaining, and as educational as we do. Also, the disclaimer once again, if you have a problem with anything I said. Also, let me say this. For the cat in the beginning, who is a follower of what we do, listen, man, don't take anything personal. If I get on your ass, I get on your ass. No homo. I might get on your ass again next week. You might fuck up again. No homo. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if you really want that work, the pit is only a click away, dog. You know what I'm saying? We be looking for motherfuckers to get in the pit. Y'all don't understand. I be all over social media inviting niggas to the pit. They don't want to do it. So we can easily get in the pit. You know, we got a moderator. The moderator, listen, man, we talk about it all the time. If you losing, you losing. We don't give a fuck. Like if I got to moderate something Bo's doing in the pit with somebody else, I told Bo, bro, if you losing that shit, I'm going to tell you losing. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to be no Three Kings, alliance against y'all. Nah. If you want to get in the pit with me, Bo, or anybody in my staff, let us know. It's a message away. And that cat, he's always messaging us anyway on Three Kings. So it's a message away. Let me know. You know what I'm saying? We get that work in. But anyway, fighters, trainers, promoters, managers, got a problem with what I say, problem with what we say, understand. It's not disrespect. As we said, we used to be former fighters. We understand what it takes to get in the ring. We respect all fighters, but we love the sport. And if you have a problem with what we say, understand it's just entertainment, but you can come see me if you want to see me. All right. Also, don't forget to go to threekingsboxing.com if you think this podcast is a little bit too brash, a little bit too much information out there, a little bit too much of the bad language. You don't like none of that? It's cool. Go ahead and go to threekingsboxing.com where everything is rated G, but it's still down the middle like we call it on this podcast. All the articles, pretty much everything we talk about on here, it's an article format on the website. While you're there, go ahead and click that donate button. Everybody who's already donated, I appreciate y'all guys. I appreciate the support. Go ahead and donate and support the authors as they put a lot of work in this 24/7 operation. All right. Also, Twitter, help us out. Follow us over there at Three Kings Boxing, Instagram at Three Kings Boxing, and then Facebook, of course, facebook.com/Three Kings Boxing. All right. Like I said, we will be back on Monday, 9:30 Eastern Time. We out.
Peace.